All right, any special requests?
Always neck.
Always neck and shoulder stuff. Okay, we can do some of that.
Put some olive oil in there too.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll let you.
let's mute here so we can hear. Okay.
You had a lot of chicken salad. Didn't you?
Hi, welcome everybody. We're talking food already.
Of course.
Welcome and happy Wednesday. Nice to see you. Any special requests this morning?
Usual for me.
Usual low back? Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, can we have a neck, please?
Some neck, yeah, neck and shoulders here.
Stiff neck.
Okay, sounds like everything. So both of those areas are the back side of the body. So the back side of the body is an interesting area to kind of think about because we're often very focused, what we see is our front. So it's like this awareness of what's behind us. So let's start laying on our backs. Let's lay down on the mat, bend your knees, bring your feet flat to the floor. You can do some little movements through the pelvis. You can tilt, do some pelvic tilts or wiggle or side to side. And then see if you can find a place that feels sort of comfortable, relatively comfortable. Bring your feet wider than the knees, wider than hip width, and let the knees knock together, just supporting each other. Kind of relax through the lower back. You can bring your hands to your belly, your abdomen. Start to feel the breath underneath your hand. Personally, as a woman for many years, I would never place my hands on my belly with love. Right? It was always with criticism, judgment. But as I grow older, and really get, clear on this is my one body in this life of mine. And the more I can send love and compassion to myself, the better I feel and the better I can show up for others. Deep breaths here, feeling underneath your hands. Noticing your breath. And then really feeling into the back side of the body, all the parts that are touching the ground. Back of your skull, backs of your shoulders, hips, your feet. And those areas that you talked about, you kind of stiff and sore, are the areas that are actually off the ground for the most part. So relax and soften into the back of the neck, as if you're laying on a beach and the sand is filling into that space. And also feel into the low back, that natural arch, that curve, and just feel as if the ground, the earth is kind of rising to fill in and support that area. Just take a couple more breaths here. And then you can keep your hands on the belly or the bottom ribs and separate the knees and just start to let them move side to side. Those knee windshield wipers. This is my favorite move right now. You can take both knees to one side and then to the other. And then see if you can coordinate as the knees go one way, the head goes the other. And then maybe go real slow and switch. And if you find a spot that feels like a natural place to pause, just stay there. Or if you want to keep moving, keep moving. And if you're better with your eyes open, you can keep the eyes open. Just a few more moments here. You can pause and be still, or you can move from side to side. Bring it back to center. Bring your feet back flat to the floor. And then let the knees knock together again. And interlace your hands behind your head. Take the elbows and wrap them around the temples, so elbows point to the sky. And then start to draw the chin to the chest, just lengthening the back of the neck. And then if you want, you can gently lift the head just a few inches, and then let the head rest in the hands. So press it back towards the floor. And then if you'd like, you can move a little bit side to side. So just that little movement of the head in the hands. Supporting the head. You can lift the head or it can stay on the ground. And then gently release the head all the way back down to the mat. And take your elbows, let them drop towards the floor, opening up the chest. Slide the hands out from underneath the skull, under the head, and you'll gently draw the knees together up into your chest. Wrap your arms around the shins. You can hold your wrists or reach for your elbow points. And then add a small rock from side to side. And if that doesn't feel good to round the low back that way, you can keep the feet on the floor and rock side to side instead. So a couple more breaths here, just that gentle rocking side to side. And bring it to center, open the arms out wide and let both knees fall to the left. So just a simple twist. And if it's too much with the knees stacked, you can stagger them, sliding the right leg back a little bit. That feels better. Or holding the thigh, just finding the spot that feels good to you. Slowly come back up through center and take it to the other side, knees to the right. You can hold on to the left leg or stagger the legs if that's best. Slowly and gently come back up to center. You're going to catch a knee in each hand. So just hold on to the knees. And this is a brain and body exercise. You'll bring one knee in towards you and one away. And then take the knees to the out to the sides and around and back to center. So you're drawing a figure 8. And stay in that same pattern. One in, one away. They go around in a big circle and then meet back at center and stay in that same direction for about 5 times. And if you can't figure it out, just move. Let them get really big. Let the knees go all the way out to the sides, like a big figure 8. Good, and then meet at the center, and now the opposite way. Told you it's for the brain and the body. And if you are struggling to figure out that figure 8, just make little circles with the knees in whichever direction they're comfortable going. A couple more big circles here. Warming up the hips. Good, and then bring it back to center. Set the left foot down flat to the floor. Interlace your hands behind the right leg. And then flex the foot and bend the knee. And straighten the leg and point the right toes. Flex the foot, bend the knee. Straighten the leg, point the toes. So we're bending and straightening the leg. Bend the knee, flex the foot, straighten the leg, point the toes. 2 more. Bend the knee, flex the foot, straighten the leg, point the toes. 1 more time. Bend and flex. Now straighten and point. Hold right there. Press the hamstring into your hands. So like you're pressing the leg away from you. And then slide the left leg out long on the floor. Keep pressing the leg into the hands rather than pulling it towards you. Hold there for 3. Press the leg into the hands. 2. And 1. Now relax the leg. Keep it up as it is, but let it come towards you. Maybe the hands slide a little higher. Gently bring the leg in towards you. Let the sensation be your guide. Good, and then bend the right knee, draw it into the chest. Set the left foot back flat to the floor again. Bend the knee. Cross the right ankle above the left thigh. So you're in that figure 4 shape. And then rotate the right ankle in some circles. Pick a direction, just 5 or 6 circles one way, and then go the other direction, little circles. And then flex the foot, pull the toes back to the shin, and pick the left foot up, figure 4 stretch or reclined pigeon. Interlace your hands behind the left leg. And then you can give a little rock here, a little movement side to side. Bring it to center, set the left foot to the floor, set the right foot next to the left. And then just take a moment, stretch your arms overhead, long through the sides of the body, wiggle a little side to side. And then coming back to center, feet flat to the floor, draw the left knee into the chest. Interlace your hands behind the left leg. Flex the foot, bend the knee, straighten the leg, point the toes. Bend the knee, flex the foot, straighten the leg, point the toes. Bend and flex, straighten and point. Bend and flex, straighten and point. Fairy and your dogs make me so happy. Bend and flex, they run around, the tails are wagging. She's just doing her yoga. It's great. Okay, next time you straighten the leg, hold it there and press the leg into the hands. It's like you're pressing the leg away from you, pressing it forward. We're activating the muscles on the back side of the body, so creating some strength right here. Press, 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 breathe, breathe, breathe. And then relax that press, keep the leg extended, and then bring it towards you. Let it melt towards you. Maybe the hands slide to the calf, or maybe you even hold the foot. It's up to you. Breathe right here, feeling that stretch in the back of the leg. Toe can be pointed or flexed. Totally a personal, or both. I love how you guys are moving between the two. Good, and then bend the knee again, draw it into your chest, and then cross the left ankle above the right thigh and start to draw some circles with the left foot, rotating the ankle. Use circles. And circle the other direction. And then flex the foot, pick up the right foot, interlace your hands behind the right hamstring. And just draw the legs in towards you as you press your tailbone towards the floor. Maybe you rock a bit side to side, having a little movement. Or maybe you prefer stillness. Good, Nancy. Listening to your body. And bring it to center. You'll carefully set the right foot down, set the left foot down, stretch the arms overhead, wiggle a little bit side to side. Good. And then keeping the feet flat to the floor, cross the right leg over the left. So you're completely like sitting cross-legged. So right leg over left. Bring your hands behind your head. We're gonna do a little bit of core work right here. So right here, remember that spot at the low back that's kind of lifted off of the ground? I want you to try to press that part of the body down to the ground. So the tailbone will lift a little and the rib cage presses down, abdominals engage. And then you're simply gonna pick the left foot up and lower it down. So you're gonna pick it up and lower it down and try to keep that rib cage adhered or sealed to the mat. So lift and lower. And maybe even lift the tailbone at the top to get that little extra. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. One more, lift and lower. Let it rest. Uncross the legs. Switch the cross. Left leg on top. Draw the rib cage down, pressing that back of the body down. Pull the belly in, and then pick up the right foot. So lift, tuck the tailbone up maybe, and lower tap. Trying to keep that engagement through the core the whole time. Head stays on the ground. I like to exhale up, inhale down, but you can do either. Four more, a slow movement, paying attention, keeping the rib cage moving towards the mat. 3, last 2, and 1. Set the feet down, uncross the legs. Stretch the legs out long, stretch the arms overhead. Get long through the body. And then gently draw the knees into the chest. And you'll start to roll front to back if that's comfortable on your spine. If it's not, go side to side. But if you can, tuck the chin, roll back to front. Good. And then come all the way up to a seated position, sitting crisscross if your legs allow, or up on a block, or on your knees. Bring your fingers to your shoulders. Good. And then right here, you're going to bring the elbow points to touch in front of you. So it's okay to round in a little. And then we're going to draw big circles. Take the elbow points up to the ceiling, around, and down. Good. So elbows touch, up, around, and down. Good. And again, if you need to sit on the block, that can be helpful. Just big circles. Nice. 2 more. Big and slow, and maybe even pulling the shoulders down and back. 1 more time. Big circle. And then when you get to the back side, you'll bring the hands behind you, fingers to the floor, palms to the floor, and keep pressing the shoulders back. Yes, sitting on a block can be helpful if your hips are tight. Good work. So press the shoulders back, lift the chest up. And then gently release hands into the lap. So this one's a little funny. So you're going to make okay signs with your hands, or like you're drinking fancy tea. And we'll do one arm at a time. So you're going to bring your elbows like this, like kind of parallel to the floor, and you'll take your right arm and come up and pivot. So pinky finger goes back and then come back down. It's like Bollywood dancing. Stay on the right. We're going to stay on the right. And we're going to do 2, back, pulling the pinky back, and then lower, like you're drinking tea. 3, nice. 4, pull the pinky back. Good. And 1 more time, come up and hold, hold, hold. And then lower it down, and we'll try that other side. So good. So the A-OK sign, and you come up. And it's even like you're trying to do that, you know, this is what that's the action you're trying to do. Yeah, if your shoulders get tired, then you want to pull into core more. Good. And lower. So see if you
shoulder.
Yeah, it's okay. Just go to where you can go. And if it doesn't go all the way back, up is fine. Good. So this is about the ulnar nerve. This is the elbow. All the way back as much as you can. Good. 1 more time. Pull that pinky finger back and then bring it down and shake it out. Do little shoulder rolls. So you might feel some heat generating. Okay. If you need to switch the cross of your leg, do that. Or if you need to change positions, do that. We're gonna do one more here. So you're gonna bring the arms down by your sides. You can have fingertips to touch or pull the fingers back and press the heel of the hand away. And hold that. And then you're gonna drop one ear. I don't care which one. One ear to one shoulder. Close your eyes. Press the heel of the hand away. If that's too much, you can relax the hand. So it might be too much on the hand that's away from the lean of the neck, because we're stretching the nerve in two directions there. So if you need to point the fingers to the floor, you can. Good. And then slowly come up and we'll switch sides. So like I said, if it's feels too nervy, too zingy, just point the fingers to the floor instead of flexing the hand back. Hold and breathe. And then slowly and gently lift the head, and then we'll roll the wrists in some slow, easy circles. Good, and then hands down, a few shoulder circles, shoulder shrugs. How'd that feel? Interesting, right? Yeah, different. It's kind of focusing on the lengthening of the nerves a little bit more. Okay, so now we'll come forward onto hands and knees. So if you need to put a pad under the knees, you can do that. And we're going to start with some shrugs in the shoulder area. So those rhomboid push-ups, really. So arms nice and straight. And then you just sink between the shoulder blades. Melt the chest down towards the ground. Let the head drop. Stay there for a moment. Just feel what that feels like. To try to create a trench in the upper back. And then we'll go the opposite. So you push the floor away and try to stretch that upper back area, right between the shoulder blades with a big stretch. And then sink between the shoulder blades, soften, and then lift between the shoulder blades, press up. One more time, sink, let the head just be really relaxed. And then lift up. And then bring it back to neutral, drop the belly this time, lift the chest. So cow, and then tuck the tailbone, arch the back and lean back slightly, lightening the wrists and stretching the back. Lean forward, drop the belly, lift the chest, inhale. And then exhale, arch and lean back. And yeah, you can go as far back as feels good to you. One more time, bring it forward, drop the belly, lift the chest. And exhale, tuck and round, maybe leaning back in that rounded position. And then come back to neutral, bring your big toes to touch, knees apart, child's pose. So hips to heels, you can support yourself on your forearms, or you can slide the arms out in front and drop the forehead to the floor. The hips get really heavy. Let them sink, the back open. Your next breath, come back up to tabletop. Bring the knees in and tuck the toes under, lifting to downward facing dog. Or if you want to stay in child's pose, you can stay, right? Or lift up into downward dog, pedal the legs out. So when my low back is cranky, I look to the hamstrings and the hips. So just notice the hamstrings here, the backs of the legs. Also look to the core. connecting to that front body. And if you're pedaling the legs, find stillness, squeeze both heels towards the ground. Set the eyes to one point so that you send this nice soothing signal to your brain, your body, your nervous system. Take a full breath in. Breathe out. And go ahead and walk your feet up your mat. If you end up at the middle, that's perfect. Or the front, that's fine. Then catch your elbow points in this ragdoll forward fold. So you can soften the knees, bending the knees. Pressing down into the heels. Spread the toes. Relax the neck, shake your head yes and no. Good. And then we'll come on up to stand, release the hands and come on up. Take a couple big circles, shoulders. Interlace your hands at your back if you can. If you can't, I have a strap. See if you can interlace the hands or grab a strap. Press the shoulders back, stretch the knuckles down. So what you want to feel is like you're trying to open that way. It's like you're trying, the hands are interlaced, but you're trying to externally rotate, and then little pulses of the arms back away from the body. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then let that release, shake it out. And then this next one, you're gonna, I'm not gonna mirror you, so you'll have to do your right hand, I'm gonna do my right hand. So you'll make a, take your arms down by your side, and then you're gonna curl the right fingers in like you make a fist, and then curl the fingers, the knuckles in towards you. So everything's curling in, perfect. And then you're gonna rotate that arm behind you and drop your left ear to left shoulder. Good. Nice. And then slowly uncurl, come back to center and uncurl the hand. Good, we'll try the other side. So you make a fist, curling the fingers in, and then curl the knuckles in, and then rotate thumb towards you and back. And then right ear to right shoulder. And then slowly come back, unwind the arms, and then open and close the hands a few times. You little wrist rolls. And then from where you are, we'll take a big breath in, sweeping the arms up. Bend the knees, forward fold. Bring the chest all the way to the thighs. Drop the head. And then bring the hands to the shins. Lift the chest, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, bow into that space, forward fold. Inhale to stand. You can reverse swan dive, rise up all the way to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, circle it up. Exhale, forward bend. You can bend the knees as you fold, nice and easy. Drop the head, halfway lift, hands to shins, pull the chest wall forward. Exhale, fold back in, let the head drop. Inhale, rise to the top, extended mountain, sweep it up. Exhale, draw the hands down to the heart. One more time. Good. So if you get lightheaded, squeeze the leg.
Oh, okay.
So the more you squeeze the legs and pull the abdomen in, the blood will come up.
Okay.
If they're like not engaged, there's that kind of weird. So even like right here, just try squeezing. Yeah, like that. So you want to, as you come up, I press the feet down and bring, because I get lightheaded too. It's a great technique to know how to do. Okay, let's try it one more time and see if we can prevent that. Okay, big breath in, circle it up. Breathe out, fold forward, bend the knees as much as you need. Halfway lift, hands to shins, pull the belly in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. So plug the feet down. Inhale, rise up, squeeze the legs, glutes, legs, everything at the top. Reach high. Bring the hands to the heart. Is that a little better?
Better,
Okay,
yes.
good. All right, we're gonna add on now. So inhale, reach up high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, lengthen. Now step back to tabletop. Hands to the floor, knees to the floor. Drop the belly, lift the chest. Inhale, cow. Tuck the tail, exhale, cat. Come to neutral, stretch the right leg back behind you. Good, exhale, step the right foot forward into a lunge. And then right here, you're gonna bring your hands up to the right leg. And you can hold on if you need. And start to press the hips forward as you pull the belly and body back. So there's this like the feet are pulling towards each other. So hips forward, but body back. And then stretch the arms up. Bring the hands together at the top, bend the elbows. So the thumbs come to the upper spine or hands can be behind the head. And you just gently start to press the head back into the wrists or hands. Breathe. Lengthen the tailbone, lift the heart. Stretch the arms up, inhale. Bring the hands back down and the right knee back next to the left. Drop the belly, lift the chest, inhale, cow. Tuck the tailbone, exhale, cat. Inhale, neutral, stretch the left leg back behind you. And exhale, step it forward. I sometimes will help it. And then come on up to that low lunge. So those little padded mats are helpful if you need or want. You want one, Dee Dee, a padded mat? Okay.
Thank you.
Pull the feet towards each other, pull the belly in, stretch the arms up. And this time we'll bend and cactus the arms. And think about opening and broadening across the chest and the upper back, softening the shoulders, energy through the hands. Maybe press the hips forward, but pull the body back. Good. Stay for one more breath. Good job. Bring the hands back down to the mat, left knee back next to the right. Drop the belly, lift the chest, cow. Tuck the tail, exhale, cat. Come to neutral, either sit back in child's pose or tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So you can choose where you want to be in rest right here. Active resting pose is downward dog. A more passive rest, child's pose. Good, dolphin, nice. Take one more exhale, at the bottom of the exhale. You'll step back forward to the front of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, bow, exhale. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows to the sky, come all the way up to stand. And then stretch the arms up. That's another way to help with that lightheadedness. Squeeze the legs, lift, lift, lift. And then bring the hands to the heart. We're gonna do a little marching in place. So it'll be opposite knee and opposite arms. We're just gonna march. Work on the balance. Blood flow. To the brain too. So opposite knee and opposite arm. Go super slow. We can make it a little quicker. No hurry. Engaging from the core. Really find the reach, the root down, reach up. Fun, right? Okay, good. And then you'll bring it back down to mountain pose. And then I'll talk you through it. I don't know if I'm going to mirror or not. It takes a bit of my brain sometimes to mirror it. I think I'll do the same as you. So we're going to keep the left leg as the base. You're going to lift the right knee and the left arm. So it's that opposite again. We're going to hold that. Right knee, left arm. And then bring the left hand to the right knee. And bring the right arm into cactus. So press the knee into the hand. It's okay to hold on with the let's see, where are we going? So it'll be holding with the right hand if you can. So you might be on this side of the bar. So elbow bent or holding, and then a little tiny turn to the right, tiny. Press the knee and the hand together. Okay, good. And come back to center and release. And then right foot's the base, lift the left knee and the right arm. And then bring the right hand to the left knee and the left arm into cactus. I'm working your brain a bit today. It's okay. So you want to press the hand and the knee together. So you're finding the center line of the body. And then a tiny turn to the left. It might even just be a look left. Press. Elbow, instead of holding the knee, bring the palm to the inner knee, not the outside. Press. Right there. Press. Good. You feel that?
Yes.
Okay, come back to center. Drop everything. Shake. So that kind of found them. Did you find that in the front? Once I told you to press, did you feel that in the inner thigh? Okay. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing, but the opposite. So I'll talk you through it. So left hand to left hip. We're going to lift the right knee again. This time it'll be a flat hand to the outside of the right knee. Right? So just flat palm outside of the knee, press. Press the knee into the hand into the knee. If you can, cactus the left arm. Just hold and breathe. Press, press, press. Outer hip engagement. Foot flexed. Nice. And then set it down. Let's try the other side. So right hand to right hip. Lift the left knee. Bring your hands to the outside of the knee and you press. You're not holding, you're pressing. Hand into the knee into the hand, turning on the center line of the body. Good, and set it down. Bring your feet wide apart. A little easy twist. Now we've activated and turned on all those muscles. Now we're going to do a little mobility work. So it'll look like this. So same idea. We'll bring the left hand to the left hip. So you're not assisting the right leg now. It's going to move from some strength. So the right knee is going to go up and out, around and down. So just try to draw some big circles. And if you even want to take it back, drawing maybe 4. Let's try 4 circles. That right leg. And set it down. We'll switch to the other side. It's fun, right? You can turn around too and hold on to the other hand.
Yeah, I can do it on the floor.
Yeah.
I can't do it on the mat.
Yes. So that small squishy surface makes a totally difference in the foot's proprioception. The foot, that's good. You know that. Okay, so try the other side. So you can have both hands on the hips or one, it's up to you. Big circle with that left leg. And what I want you to notice, so we're working active range of motion with the leg that's moving, but this static stillness in this bottom leg, this is the leg that's the most important, really. The right leg, the standing leg, the support. One more big circle. So put your brain into the foot on the floor. I'm coming back. So, last one. Now we get to stretch. So this one will be a figure 4 stretch. And if you want to use a wall or chair or table or something at home, you can hold on and you'll cross the right ankle, and you don't have to hold on either, over the left thigh, and you'll sit back and down. And this could be in space. Right ankle goes over left thigh, and then you start to sit back, maybe hands to heart, maybe forearms to shin. Just a standing balance. Also a wonderful hip opener. Keep that connection of the belly, drawing the pit of the belly in. Good job, all of you all. Work. Nice. One more breath. Really crazy. And then come on up and set it down. And just notice if you're gripping in the jaw or relax. Let's try the other side. As you're ready, you can catch hold of the bar or a table or bend the knees into that chair posture. And then left ankle over the right thigh, trying to pick the ankle up and press the knee down. So we're trying to get that feeling when the hand was outside the knee pressing. You want that knee pressing down, ankle trying to lift up, hips go back, pit of the belly draws in. All of that is important, but most important is your standing leg. That's always representative of present time. Right now. Stay rooted and grounded. Love hearing the breath in the room this morning. And then come on up to stand. You'll come back to the front of your mat. Standing in mountain pose. Just notice how you feel. Like 1 or 2 words maybe to notice. Taller. I could use that. Right. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, fold forward. Just pause there, shake out the head. And then right here, you'll plant your hands, walk your feet back, coming to a high plank position. And then lower all the way down onto your belly. It can be slow or quick. And then from the belly, come up onto your forearms. The Sphinx pose. The Sphinx can be wonderful and healing for the back, or it can be more traumatic for a back that's kind of tight. So I want you to pay attention here. If it's too much, you come down. The way I like to work, so it can be super relaxed, hanging it out, just kind of hanging in this shape. I always like to work the actions. For me, that's kind of the fun part of yoga is like, what can I connect to in my own body? So for me here, I like to press the tops of my feet down, kneecaps lift, and then press the pubic bone down, trying to pull the low belly up off the ground. And then with the forearms, I pull backwards, dragging the rib cage forwards. That's traction, which is really wonderful for a back that has compression or degeneration beginning. The traction and lengthen. It's not for everyone. You don't have to. If it feels sharp or really painful, then back out. But how's that feel?
Good. Good.
That tractioning, and I often, I don't know if you notice, I move a little bit side to side. Length, like I'm drawing that rib cage away from the pelvis. Good, and then you'll just lower down and then make a pillow out of your hands so the head goes straight down. Bend the knees and maybe windshield wipe the lower legs side to side. Releasing the feet back to the floor. Shoulder stretch here. This is an outer shoulder stretch. So you'll take your right arm. You're going to bring the left hand back to support you, and the right arm goes under your body, out to the right. And then you can do a few things. You can just sort of rest here, lowering the body down, or I like to make a fist with the right hand and then bring it back and rest my cheek or my chin on the wrist. And the more you roll on the right side, the less stretch you'll feel. The more you roll onto your belly and relax the left side of the body to the floor, the more stretch you'll feel. So to lighten the stretch, you roll over to the right a little bit. To deepen the stretch, try and stay square to the floor. And breathe. Use your left hand to lift up and extend the right arm to the right now. Let it go out right. And bring your right ear to the floor. And then you can stay or roll onto the right side. And if you choose to roll onto the right side, try to slide the right arm away from you a little bit. And let the head relax, opening up the pec and the front of the shoulder. Slowly come back onto your belly. You'll slide the hand in, make a pillow out of the forearms or backs of the hands, bend the knees and windshield wipe the leg side to side. Good, and then the left arm, so you'll bring the right palm to the floor. The left arm's gonna go under your body first, under, and then you just either relax there or make a fist and bring it back towards the shoulder. The right hand can be there for support, or it can come down by your side, back of the hand to the floor. Get a little heavier through that right side. Just notice. You can relax your feet. Tina, let the legs relax. Moving into the stretch. If it's too much, you roll over onto that left side a little bit. We're using compression here. So compression through the inner shoulder stretch for the outside, compression to create a squeeze so that in a moment when we release, it brings in fresh blood, brings in oxygenated blood, helps to heal and move energy. When you're ready, you'll bring that right palm to the floor to support you. Lift up, slide the left arm out to the left, about shoulder height or a little higher. Left ear to the floor, bend the right knee, maybe roll onto the left side. You don't have to. Staying on the belly might be enough. Onto the belly, slide the left hand in, press yourself up to tabletop, and then you'll walk the knees forward on the mat. And we're just gonna have a seat and stretch the legs out in front. How your arms and shoulders feel. Okay. All right, so legs out in front. Did this yesterday, we're gonna do this again today. So we're gonna take a walk. So with moving with the hips, you're gonna walk backwards on your mat. Just sliding one sitting bone back at a time. Good. And then we're gonna come forward. This is good for getting some movement in the hips, into the hamstrings. Okay, let's try that one more time. Back, back. And it's fun. Okay, treat to train, and then come forward. I think I'm going to do this with the kids. So fun. Okay, now you're going to get kind of rooted and grounded, knowing where your sitting bones are. Reach up high, and then hinge forward. So the more you hinge and keep the body long, the bigger the stretch in the hamstrings. And then when you're ready, you've reached your end, let the hands come down or hold. If the hamstrings are like screaming, it's so tight, this is so challenging, you can bend the knees to get a different type of experience of the hinge. You can also round, tuck the chin and round if that feels okay on your back. So when back pain is present, it's hard to know from what. So I want you to notice, is this making it worse? Does this feel bad on my body? Is it too much? Do I need to stay more lengthened? If Sometimes that rounding, especially if there's degeneration or disc issues, can put more pressure. Sometimes it can feel so good. So you choose. Not forcing, just listening. That carefully. And you'll come down onto your back and knees bent. So when you lay down, knees bent, feet to the outer edges of the mat again. Let the knees knock together. Place your hands on your belly or bottom ribs. Take a couple deep breaths. Notice if you're holding. Notice if the body or the muscles of the body are tense. And often we don't even notice when our body is just contracted. See if you can relax the back side of the body towards the ground. Straighten the legs, come into Shavasana. You can, if you're comfortable here and want to stay right here, you can stay here. Whichever position feels healing and supportive to you, that's where I want you to be right now. So both neck and lower back area of our body is an area that we often contract and hold unconsciously. Like stress, tension, worry, anxiety that sometimes lives in those areas. Also habitual patterns of our lifestyle kind of can live, like if our head is forward often, or if we're slouching and not working our posture muscles. And what we do daily for long periods of time imprint on our body. That's how our body adapts, what our body adapts to. Practice of yoga is a great place to observe, listen. Pay attention. It's a skill, and we can cultivate it here and practice here. Hopefully, we carry it off the mat. And if not, that's okay. Being aware right here is a great place to start. Relaxing into the whole back side of the body, especially the spaces that are naturally off of the ground. Just imagine you're laying on this beautiful beach and you're maybe on a large silk towel or something, silk scarf that's twice the diameter of your body. You have lots of space. And as you lay there, you just feel the sand kind of filling into the spaces behind the neck, behind the lower back, behind your wrists if your hands are on the ground, behind the knees or ankles. It's providing this absolutely perfect support. Perfect amount of support so you can relax a little bit more. Yourself feel safe and held and supported. You can let go. fingers and toes, feeling back into your body. Carefully bend your knees. You could roll to a comfortable side and with your eyes remaining closed, come on up to a seated posture. You want to sit on a block or something, that's fine. Take a moment here, eyes closed. Historically, yoga was created or came out of a need for comfort in meditation. So historically, yoga practice, the poses were done first to work the restlessness out of the body. So the monks or ascetics could sit for long periods of time in meditation, clear, comfortable, at ease. Just notice for yourself right here how your body feels. When the body feels good, the mind often gets clear. Sometimes working on the physical with the body movement can make space for your emotions, thoughts, and feelings to be able to be sorted, clear, have space. Just notice. Bring the palms of your hands together and touch your thumbs to your heart space. Put your thumbs now to your forehead center. Hope you all have a really lovely day. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you for the suggestions. I hope you feel amazing. Nice to be with you all. Welcome.
Thank you. So that was really nice.
Welcome back, world
Thank you.
travelers. Good to be with all of
Thank
you.
you.
Yes. Thanks.
Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. Derry and your dogs are the best. They finally calm down at the end there.
Yeah, they just get riled up at first when they first get on the floor.
They get so excited. Their tails are going. They're all over you and you just stay with it. I'm so impressed. So that's such a practice of yoga right there. All right. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.